911, what is the address of your emergency?
In the early morning hours of May 12, 2006, I was awakened and held hostage in my college bedroom. For 2 hours, I was sexually assaulted, and I had to lay there at 20 years old, believing that was how I would die. Somehow, I survived, and I called 911. I didn't get to choose who responded that morning, but I was lucky because I was believed.
Start by Believing is not just a campaign, it's really a philosophy. I use that language, start by believing, all the time in my work.
We have to remember for generations, individuals, specifically women, were disbelieved. It was distrusted when they spoke about sexual violence or any violence against their bodies.
How victims of crime are initially responded to is a critical indicator of whether they will choose to report or seek crisis services. And that's where End Violence Against Women International comes in.
So when I was in college, I was assaulted. And through that, I met a detective working with End Violence Against Women International.
When I first went into a sex crimes unit, there wasn't any resource. You would have to go to training. So I knew I needed more background. When the online training institute came about, I found myself literally on a weekly basis just updating myself. But for me, it helped me understand my victims and why they would do odd things, the delayed reporting and that type of thing.
Both virtual and in-person learnings help strengthen the knowledge base for professionals assisting victims of violent crimes.
As a survivor, the whole legal process can be pretty terrifying. Luckily, the detective I worked with was amazing. He helped me through the entire process. He knew how to speak to me. He knew how to make me feel safe. I trusted him, and he made me feel comfortable when talking about one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. And that's so important, and Eva helped his education process through that, and I'm forever grateful.
It gives me credibility when I testify as an expert. I knew that everything that was put up on the Resource Center was not somebody's opinion. It was heavily researched, and it was bona fide information that I could use. It made my reports much better, my investigations much better, just because I understood that victimology of our survivors.
The work End Violence Against Women International does for survivors and professionals is changing the way communities address sexual violence.
Start by Believing, it's a call to action. It's a demand that sexual assault and its life-altering harms are taken seriously. It's more like a rally cry for those who have been silenced, and it's demand that at least they be heard. It means that they get their due process. It means that they get their investigations. The systems are in place in a non-threatening, non-victim blaming, and a trauma-informed way.
Well, I just think that Evaluate is one of the most important resources that anyone working on sexual assault, intimate partner violence, domestic violence, or other types of cases, whether, again, you're a prosecutor, a police officer, an advocate, a SANE nurse, a researcher, it provides a network to find other allied professionals. It provides state-of-the-art training and resources and research on every issue you're going to see.
So to me, this organization affords us a continuum of care. That's beautiful. That not only did you care about me when I was victimized and I'm in a state of survivorship, but now you want to make sure that I live a whole, healed, healthy, educated, and complete existence.
It will only make you a better advocate, a better professional. And again, I think ultimately our goal is to help our survivors heal and obtain justice.
It changed the entire trajectory of what I was able to do and become in spite of being a crime victim.
This organization has got it down pat, and it really is an honor to be a survivor in this sense.
It's really an honor that we get to do this work with that philosophy.
It has helped me immensely because it shows me that there's a community, there's a support system. You're not alone, and even in the hardest times, there are people that understand you.
Being believed meant everything. You can get involved today. It's your turn to choose, and you can start by believing.